watching you. They were deciding how to wear your face. The Man in the Bone Hood, a terrifying standalone horror story from beginning to end. Part 1, Into the Woods. In October 2018, 31-year-old Jordan Myers, a seasoned solo hiker, set out on a two-day backpacking trip through Black River Forest in Wisconsin. He was well prepared, set light phone, gear, food, water, everything. A wooden sign near the trailhead caught his eye. Warning, active hunting grounds. Solo hiking not recommended. He smirked, took a picture of it, and whispered to himself, "I'm not the prey." He had no idea how wrong he was. Part 2, Something's Out There. By dusk, Jordan had pitched his tent beside a dry creek bed. There was an unnatural stillness in the woods. No wind, no chirping, no rustling leaves. Just silence so loud it rang in his ears. At around 1:20 a.m., just as he was dozing off inside his tent, he heard it. Footsteps, not leaves crunching, not a raccoon. Human footsteps, slow, deliberate, circling his tent. Jordan sat up, heart racing. "Hey, who's there?" No answer. He grabbed his flashlight, unzipped the tent flap just enough to peek out, and that's when he saw it. Part 3, The Bone Hood. About 30 feet away, under the tree line, stood a tall figure, motionless, dressed in black. But it was the mask that froze Jordan's blood. A bone-white skull, sculpted like a human face, no eye holes. No expression, just smooth, pale bone. The figure didn't move, didn't breathe, didn't blink. Jordan shouted, aimed his flashlight, but the man stepped backward into the shadows without a sound and vanished. Jordan zipped the tent shut and stayed awake the rest of the night, revolver in hand, praying for sunrise. Part 4, The Offering. At dawn, Jordan stepped out, exhausted. He checked the area and found no footprints, no sign of anyone. But right outside the tent, something lay on the ground. A dead rabbit, gutted open, its belly carved with a symbol made of blood, a jagged circle with 3 claw-like slashes. Jordan dropped it in horror. He hiked out fast, retracing his trail. But the trees, they looked different. Path had somehow twisted. The markers he left were gone, and then he saw it. A tree ahead, freshly carved with words in blood. "You shouldn't have come alone." Part 5, The Man Returns. Just before noon, Jordan reached his Jeep. He jumped in, locked the doors, and tried to catch his breath. Then he saw something under his windshield wiper. A note handwritten in red ink. "You're lucky you didn't unzip the tent all the way." The engine started on the first try. He sped off, but after a mile down the gravel road, he glanced in the rearview mirror and saw something move in the back seat. Part 6, In the Car. Whipping his head around, nothing. He was alone, or so it seemed, but something smelled off, metallic, like rust or blood. He checked under the back seat blanket. His heart stopped, for freshly severed fingers, still red, still warm. Jordan nearly crashed the car. Part 7, Shelter in the Cabin. Panicked and desperate, Jordan spotted an old, abandoned hunter's cabin off a logging road. He rushed inside and locked the door. It was dusty, rotten, the smell of mildew, and something sweet and wrong hung in the air. On a shelf sat a leather-bound book cracked with age. He flipped it open. Hand-drawn symbols, rituals, faces without skin. The book's title read, The Bone Hood, the Forest Collector. One line on a torn page chilled his soul. He doesn't just wear faces. He becomes those who fear him the most. The door slammed shut behind him. Part 8, The Mirror. In the cabin, Jordan found an old mirror hanging on the wall. When he looked into it, he saw himself, but not alone. Behind his reflection stood the Bone Hood Man, silent, taller than before, bleeding from the mask. Jordan spun around, no one was there. He looked again, the figure was now closer. He blinked, closer still, and then the lantern in the cabin dripped blood. Part 9, Whispers in the Cabin. The shadows twisted around him. A whisper echoed in Jordan's head, not out loud, but inside his skull. "Let me wear you." He collapsed, shaking. Then came 3 knocks on the window. Thug, thug, thug. He turned. Outside, the Bone Hood stood, holding something in his hands. A human face, skin twitching. Part 10, The Final Transformation. The door creaked open slowly. The figure entered. Jordan couldn't move, couldn't scream. The shadows wrapped around his chest like vines. The Bonehood leaned down, whispered in his ear, "The forest wakes when the wrong ones enter." Then everything went black. Epilogue 2 days later. 2 days later, a local ranger found the Jeep parked by the trail. Inside, no sign of Jordan, except a note taped to the inside windshield. "He's still out there." Wearing me. Back in the cabin, the ranger found a shattered mirror on a bone-white mask, still dripping blood. No body, no prints, only silence, and something watching from the trees. The end. But in Black River Forest, nothing ever really ends.